Good afternoon, everybody. It's Kalini Kent here, is part of my In Conversation with talks with the most amazing people. And today we've got a very special treat in store. If any of you like chocolate, we're going to be meeting the amazing Oliver Dunn. And also we're going to have a behind the scenes look at the company of Dunn Chocolatiers. So first of all, I'd love to welcome into the studio Oli, who's also known as Oli The Choc.
Wow.
Hello,
thank you. Thank you so much, Kalini. It's lovely to be here with you today.
It is so lovely to have you here. And anybody, by the way, if you're listening and if you want to put any comments or questions in the chat, I do know I have a little secret message that Nick Bianchi's listening. So maybe if you want to send some heckling, Nick, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, we would. And we'd also like to wish Nick a very happy birthday today as well. We
absolutely.
are one day apart, Nick and I. We're Leos.
Actually, I have it on good authority that you had a rather good celebration last night for your birthday, Oli.
I did indeed. Thank you very much. You've got good sources.
I do.
We had a wonderful time. Yeah, lovely meal, a nice Indian, the Lime Lounge in High Lane. So, yeah, just near
fantastic.
where we are on Chocolate Street.
Yeah. So, in fact, where are you based, Oli?
So I'm here, Canal Side, High Lane. So just down the canal from yourself, Kalini. You're down there in Bonington, aren't you? So we're in High Lane in Stockport. So we're just by the canal. It's a lovely little spot, and we call it Chocolate Street. So good place to be.
And in fact, I do absolutely love your branding because you've actually got one of the images of Willy Wonka, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, chocolate's just such a fun subject, isn't it? Even just the word chocolate makes people smile. So, yeah, we're very lucky to be in such a fun business. And yeah, we do have a lot of fun with the branding for sure.
And in fact, today we're going to be hearing so much exciting stuff because we're going to be learning all about how it's been a family business. We're going to be hearing the history and how Simon started it all in 1984. But we're also going to hear about, well, just how you've changed and how adapted, obviously, because of COVID. But I want to know something important. How are you coping with all this heat and chocolate?
So this week has been very testing. It's been a real chocolate challenge this week. I mean, just trying to get the chocolate to set. So it's been a case of in and out of the fridge all the time. We've managed, we've pulled through, and I'm glad that it's cooled down that little bit now. But I've had a really big order this week. Which I can't talk too much about, but basically I make these chocolate smashes. So it looks like a cake, but actually it's a hollow piece of chocolate, and you can hide whatever you want inside. So this particular company has sent out a large number of these with the products inside to, for the launch of the product, to create a little bit of noise and, social media activity. So that's been really exciting, but it could have, the heat didn't help.
No. And in fact, when we were talking, preparing for this, you actually showed me one of these chocolate smashes. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
It's like the old-fashioned piñata.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. And we can make them in any size, really, as well. I've got a couple of different molds and had to make one, a really big one this week. So, yeah, it's just great. And it's interesting to see what people like to put inside them as well. Invitations to a party or a gift. It's fun. Yeah.
So we're going to hear a lot more about your products, which I'm dying to. And in fact, I think there'll be so many people. It's because it's not just for adults, it's for young people as well. And you've adapted and you've got your chocolate parties. But should we talk a little bit, first of all, about your history? Because Simon, in fact, started the company, in 1984 with your mom, Anne?
Exactly. That's right. The year I was born. So I've grown up surrounded by chocolate. And my dad basically used to work prior to 1984, when he set up the chocolate business. He worked for a sweet company in Stockport called Squirrel Horn, and he made things like jelly babies and sweets, wine gums and things like that. So that was where his career started in confectionery. And they sent him on a course to Germany to learn how to work with chocolate, tempering, etc. And that's where his passion really developed, because he realized, with sweets, it would take maybe up to a week to have the finished product by the time it's been in and out of the ovens and cooled. Whereas with chocolate, it was almost an instant product. And that was what really excited him. And he thought, I can actually make a business out of this. Which he did. He started the business from home, when I was born in 1984. So, yeah, as a child, growing up, watching, all that creativity and with the smell of chocolate in the house, it certainly had an effect on me.
Or were you tempted to keep wanting to sample?
Absolutely, and I'm still as bad. I'm a chocoholic. You know, I eat chocolate every day, and people say, you know, you must be sick of it, but I'm really not. I absolutely love chocolate. But yeah, it goes back to when me and my sister Camilla were children, and mum and dad had a little room in the house, which is like a mini chocolate factory. We called it the chocolate room, you know, as though it's normal, you know. Got a chocolate room in the house in the middle of the night when our mum and
Wow.
dad were asleep. You know, of course we would sneak down there very carefully and just tiptoe and get a handful of chocolate buttons to take back to our bedroom.
So growing up, did you have really good sort of like having friends around? I bet they must have thought it was Christmas, having
Oh,
chocolate parties.
absolutely. You know, can we see the chocolate factory? And yeah, it's like something out of Willy Wonka.
Oh
It was
wow.
it was great. And the Halloween, you know, there was queues down the driveway. People, you know, wanted to trick or treat there. You know, they weren't daft.
Well, I know, I was
Very
going to
popular.
say. So were
Yeah.
you one of the key samplers to sort of make sure it all tasted good?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. You know, we'd always Christmases. I just remember mum and dad being really busy in the chocolate room, making all their orders, and my sister and I would be, you know, watching Christmas movies or something. Occasionally, they'd come up with maybe even if it was just a few chocolate buttons just to keep us happy, and it certainly did. Yeah, we got to taste all the new samples and flavors. Great fun, great
And
memories.
when your dad first started, I mean, you've obviously started from amazingly humble background and business, obviously from the home. So
Yeah,
when did you
yeah,
start developing it into the shops? Because I know you from, I know the company from, I used to have my drama academy, and one of my studios was in Wilmslow. So
yeah.
parents at the end of term, I was really lucky because they used to bring me
Brilliant,
chocolate, Simon Dunn chocolates, and
fantastic.
it was a really lovely
Oh,
treat to get. So that's how I first
amazing.
came across you.
Well, we'll have to get some of those to you. Bring back some of those feelings of nostalgia from Wilmslow. Great times, great times. You know, we met a lot of lovely people, had lots of amazing customers down there in Wilmslow. And now that my dad's got the chocolate shop here in High Lane, well, the new bypass has made it a lot easier. So
Yeah.
we do get a lot of those customers that used to see us in Wilmslow coming over to High Lane now, which is fab. But to answer your question, it was my dad always said that he was waiting for me to be old enough. So when I joined the business, that would be when he would grow the business. And he was right, of course. I didn't know that would be the case. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but it made sense. At 17, I basically wanted to have a car and a little bit of freedom, and you know, I needed a job. And my dad at that time was looking to grow his business, so he started to train me, and from there he opened up a few shops. So it was an
Wow.
exciting journey.
So initially, you did have several shops throughout the country.
So mainly around sort of Cheshire. He did have one in Matlock Bath, but Derbyshire, Glossop, Stockport, Hazel Grove, and then of course Wilmslow. But over the years, you know, the recession came in, went through some difficult times, and the shops were either kind of franchised off to somebody else. Somebody else would take over the management of the shop, and in some cases take it over completely. So I think my dad kind of realised that he didn't want to grow anymore, and he wanted to just enjoy making chocolates, and that's what he's doing now without the stress of having all these staff in different units and
Mm.
you know, rent and rates. And he's just got a humble premises in High Lane, but it's lovely, you know, Canal Side. He does a lot of wholesale business up to the Lake District, supplies a shop up there, Friars of Keswick, and you know, it's a great business. But I think it's really important to find that balance of, you know,
Yeah.
doing what you love and what you're passionate about, but you know, managing you know, is it worth the stress of becoming a national business? So
Mm.
it's a fine line.
That is something I've found quite a lot. People say the minute you expand, you
Yeah,
actually are working on the business rather than in it. And so you
exactly.
actually are ending up sort of managing rather than actually doing what you love. And clearly,
So
as a
true.
family, your passion is the chocolate and the quality
Exactly.
and the
Yeah.
products that you produce, really, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we get the chocolate from Belgium, and the chocolate's made from the cocoa beans that come from Ghana. And I've got a cocoa pod here to show you. So this is a fruit, which makes me feel a lot better about the fact that I eat chocolate every day.
Wow.
One every 5 a day, maybe. But yeah, it's a fruit,
Bigger
and I
than I
actually,
expected, Ollie. It's bigger than I
yeah,
expected.
they do range in size. They can be half the size, but they can also be twice the size. This was from Ghana. My dad and I went to Ghana in Africa in 2017, purely just to visit and to experience the cocoa farm, meet the farmers. And yeah, we brought these back, but it was a trip of a lifetime. We did it purely for the experience, to get a fuller understanding of where chocolate comes from. But those are the beans.
So they come out of that pod?
Exactly, yeah. So these are the cocoa beans, which are the seeds from inside the pod. That's the ingredient that goes into making chocolate.
And then what else? Because you say that you obviously try and major on quality. We're going to come on to your brand values now. You're obviously known as, sort of master chocolatiers, aren't you? So what are the ingredients then that go into it? So
cocoa butter, cocoa solids, milk, and sugar. Those are the only ingredients that you should find in chocolate, and it is the best quality chocolate that we use. It's made in Belgium with those ingredients only, and high percentage of cocoa solids. So that's the bitter tasting part of the bean, the cocoa solids, and then the cocoa butter. That's the oil from the bean. So white chocolate is made up with the cocoa butter, milk, and sugar. So there's no cocoa solids in white chocolate. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference. And dark chocolate is high in cocoa solids. It has a bit of cocoa butter, sugar, but there's no milk in dark chocolate.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so different. But people will argue white chocolate's not really chocolate, but it is from the cocoa bean. It's just a different part of the bean.
Wow. I've just want to show you, because we've got some people listening, and this is a friend of mine, Francesca. We're going to be doing some work together. So that
Francesca, you said it, not me.
That's fantastic. Yeah, there you are. That's everybody's solution. It's a fruit. It's one of our 5 a day.
Here you go.
And then we've got Nick here listening, whose humble premises, chocolate towers is a landmark, Oli.
Oh, wow.
You guys, such a fantastic and successful family business. And it is a fantastic family business, isn't it?
Good comment. Thank you so much, Nick.
Yeah, Nick and I had a wonderful chat a few weeks ago, and again, another family business, 4th generation. So it's wonderful to see that you are perpetuating what your dad started, isn't it?
Absolutely. We do share the same passion. That's what's great. We'll work, and although I've got my own business, which I'll tell you more about in a minute and how that's evolved, we both work with chocolate, and at the end of the day, we've got so much to talk about. So we'll go for a beer after work, and we'll brainstorm new ideas, and there's always something different going on. It's an exciting environment.
So your dad has clearly been your inspiration, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think the big thing.
So I'm not missing out, Mum, but you know what I mean. He's been. Business has been.
Absolutely. He came home from Squirrel Horn Sweet Factory and made some chocolates in his kitchen at home, and had my mum there to help test them and get the quality right and give them to his neighbours and colleagues. And he had the courage to take that plunge when he had a newborn baby. Take that risk and following that instinct feeling, that inspiration that he got, that he wanted to set up a small handmade chocolate business. And that gave me a lot of inspiration, just hearing those stories as a child. So it wasn't only working with chocolate, which in itself, creating something out of nothing, which excited me then and does even more now, but it was setting up that business from nothing and then creating all that excitement. And I think as well, giving people something that makes them happy. Chocolate is such a feel good product. It's either something because it tastes so good, but the way it looks and the way it's presented as well, and you give that to somebody as a gift, and it makes them smile. So
and it is lovely. I mean, it's an amazing product. Obviously, we know how many of us, we all love chocolate, don't we? In fact, can I just also mention, because we have an exciting treat in store for everybody, haven't we, Oli? We are going to invite Simon into the stream shortly, because we are going to see inside the chocolate factory.
Yes, the original Mr. Wonka himself.
Yeah, but I just want to show Scott Hannah's comment. Great business, hugely valued locally. If the world could harness Oli's energy, passion, and positivity, the world would be a better place. That is such a lovely comment, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. Very kind.
That's very kind of you. So, shall we have an exciting tour? Do you want to show us, first of all, your bit? Because we'll invite your dad in a moment. But behind you, I have been admiring your wall. And in fact, when you do your lives on a Saturday morning, we see this, and we see your lovely wife, Kim. So
exactly.
there is a story behind this, isn't there?
Yes, I mean, Kim and I do the live show every Saturday. Of course, you know, we're live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thank you for that. We look forward to it. But yeah, the artwork behind me was created by a friend of mine, local artist Imogen, and Kim and I were actually going on a trip to LA, and I gave Imogen all the kind of brief. And, you know, over the years, I've come out with these daft things like, are you ready to chock and roll, you know, to the children at parties and to the adults as well. It's just become part of the brand. So when I gave Imogen all these ideas, I literally said, I'll leave it with you. And she loved that because she just had the absolute freedom and to be totally creative. When I came back, I couldn't believe it. So, you know, she incorporated, you know, the Oli The Choc, the cocoa pod, the cocoa tree. So the idea is that it's a little bit educational as well for children when they come here for the parties. But what it's also done is it's inspired me and us. You know, it set off new ideas, and you know, even got T-shirts made, merchandise off the back of it. You got the Choc Star T-shirt, but the Choc and Roll tee. You know,
That's lovely.
It's the fun. It's all about having fun, I think, in business, and I think the brand is important. A big part of the brand is, of course, the story, but we just try and present things in a fun and creative way. So
yeah. So go on, let's have a look at your chocolate. So I would love to welcome into our stream Simon and Anne. Hello.
Hello, are we on there? Hello.
Hey, Papa Choc. Mama Choc.
Simon and Anne. It's so wonderful to have you here. So Oli, in fact, we're actually next door, aren't we?
Indeed. Yeah. We've got the chocolate party room, which is where I am now, which obviously has become more of a studio, if you like, where we make the videos and create the content. It's also where I package the kits that we make, which I'll tell you more about after. But then we've got a room in between, which will be where, when I can, I will go back to having slots in there to do parties on a Saturday afternoon. And then just past the middle room is the chocolate shop, and where my mum and dad are is in the back. So that's where they make all the chocolates there.
Well, I'm I think everybody's really pleased to meet you because, Simon, you've obviously started an incredible business here and from such humble beginnings. So are you going to give us a little tour? Because it's so exciting.
I just thought, if you ask me any questions, I think Oliver's answered absolutely everything about the business, hasn't he? Very impressive. Working hard.
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
Yeah. Right, what would you like to see? Would you like to see some chocolate?
Yes, please. But also, I want to, if you could show everybody where you mix that chocolate, because I was really impressed by the mixers behind you.
Yeah, well, we've got these chocolate machines, which basically gives us a free flow of chocolate, constant flow of tempered chocolate. So, you know, part of the process of chocolate making, it has to be the right temperature and structure of crystals. It's a very complicated thing, tempering, but these machines provide us with a constant supply of tempered chocolate. So it's basically just a wheel. Well, it's very messy, but as you can imagine, it's
wow.
You see it there, aren't you? It's very difficult to keep these machines clean.
Yeah,
I'll show you in a minute actually what we do with them. It's
like
gorgeous,
chocolate.
isn't it? And you believe it or not, we are, Anne. I'll vouch for this, won't you? How much chocolate do we eat?
Well, all in moderation. So we do eat chocolates every day, though.
We love chocolate, yeah. And people are always,
people
look at us gobsmacked and think, have you just eaten chocolate? You know, as though we're immune to the desire of chocolate. We love it.
I bet.
Yeah, so I was showing you before actually but we've cleared a few of the trays. But we've got, am I okay taking you around?
Oh, please do. It's been lovely, exciting.
Like I said, in there, it's where all the chocolate's made, obviously. And then we move straight into the shop where all the chocolates go into the chocolate cabinet.
Wow.
So that's from behind there, obviously. And most of these have actually been made this morning. So timing's perfect. We had a fairly empty cabinet earlier on. So it's lovely to see the whole thing. So you can see all the names of all the chocolates there.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I think there's about 30 different types of individual chocolates, and then we do the children's novelties and small pieces. So it starts from the dinosaurs up to the children always choose the large motorbike. I don't know why. But
the robot's my favourite.
I wonder why. Happy birthday, Nick Bianchi, anyway. I don't know if he's listening.
Oh, yes.
That was a good opportunity to say hello to our good friend. We were very lucky, actually. Before lockdown, obviously none of us knew what effect it'd have on us. And we fortunately ordered and refitted out our lounge and dining room with all new furniture. Didn't we, Oliver?
From Enrique Bianchi, which is very
From Enrique Bianchi.
I enjoyed last night.
Just lost your volume, Simon.
Am I back again?
Are you back again? Absolutely.
Yeah, so we were lucky that we had some very comfy furniture off Nick to be going home after a hard day's work. I mean, we've actually not stopped all the way through.
So what's your working hours, Simon? What sort of, you've obviously created, I watched you actually making some earlier on. What are your sort of hours that you're working?
We're not like a bakery. It's not like a very early morning start. We tend to open the door about 9 o'clock, something like around 9 o'clock. And then I can literally get everything made in the morning, get them dipped and then in the cabinet. So it's quite, I mean, apart from Christmas, you can imagine what Christmas is like. It's just like 24/7 almost. Because it's still the case now. I think 2/3 of annually produced box chocolates are sold at Christmas.
So do you tend to, are you just making fresh to order? People order?
Oh, we wish we could have stock. I mean, we've never really had the luxury of having stock sat on the shelves. It's literally, Oliver, he knows this. I mean, it's but much we can produce, so we do fortunately just about keep up with it. I mean, we were given a very large order recently, because we've been busy with furlough gifts of companies, and it's kept us really going really well, really busy. So we've been lucky.
Well, thank you so much. I just want to send you a little. You can see this message. This is from Nick, which bless you, Papa Choc. Love it,
Papa Choc. Actually, Nick, that's your brand name that Nick actually gave to you, Dad.
Really?
Papa Choc, isn't it? Yeah, and he calls it Choc Towers here, and me, Oli The Choc. It all comes from Nick. He's the king of the brand. King of the brand.
It's Nick.
Yes, I had to put the bandana on, Dad. I felt left out there.
I was going to say,
well done, Nick.
I love the bandanas. Has it got an actual? Does it say Oli The Choc on the bandana?
No, it doesn't. But funnily enough, I have got some artwork which Imogen also did for me, which I am having turned into a bandana design. It's got all the choc in the roll, like from the artwork.
Fantastic.
So it's very exciting. So there you go.
And in fact, we've got a question from one of my colleagues, Francesca. Can we tour this amazing place? So, are you actually a shop that people can turn up at Simon and people can come and buy from?
Yeah, I'll just quickly, without going too fast, try to. It's a shop that's open 10 till 5 Tuesday to Friday, and then you can see the shop.
Wow.
And then there's Oliver in there talking to you, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's as you walk through there, that's how the shop would look.
Yeah.
And do you hold chocolate parties there? Is that where you hold the chocolate parties, Ollie?
Well, we've got a room between Oliver and myself that can be used. So
perfect.
That's what that middle space is where, and it's got some really cool artwork on the back as well that Imogen did. So it's a really nice little space, and that's where I do hope to offer some slots on a Saturday as soon as we can, really. But for the moment, it's simply virtual chocolate parties.
And the packing room at the moment.
Well, do you know what? I've got a youth group, Signets, and I see about 60 young people every Saturday. And I think this is something we're going to have to talk about.
That would be awesome.
I think they would love. I mean, how exciting would that be to come out of lockdown and have your first get together making chocolate?
Absolutely. Perfect.
It's a place, isn't it? I mean, everybody's surprised at how the layout of the building. It's rooms everywhere, so it's lovely to see the reaction when they see the chocolate machines and us playing with chocolate, isn't it?
It's it's fun.
Everybody's grown up with Willy Wonka and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then to actually see somebody who actually is doing it. And I love the range of chocolates you've got.
I must show you this before you go. This was my
he loves it, doesn't he?
He's
absolutely
excited.
loves it.
It's lovely to see passion.
Yeah,
so nice. I can see where yours comes from, Ollie.
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I can't resist.
This is a chocolatier made by Chocolatier.
That is brilliant, Simon. I can see where you get your personality, some of your personality and energy and fun from, Ollie. It's so lovely to meet. Well, Simon, is there anything else you wanted to tell us before we go and we carry on with talking with Ollie?
No, it's just I appreciate you giving us your time today and just allowing us to hopefully put a smile on people's faces, and wish we could send the smell of this chocolate to you, because that's the first thing people walk through the door is the smell. We don't get it, do we all? Do you smell chocolate, Al?
Not like I think everybody else. You know, people walk in, you can just think, oh wow, just they just come for the smell alone.
No, but thanks for giving the opportunity to just remind people where we are or let them know where we are, because we never forget our links with Winslow. That was possibly a leap forward we could have wished for, especially now, because when there's companies looking for corporate gifts, thankfully my name does tend to prop up with one of the members, so we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, and Ollie's going to tell us a bit more about the branding, because you obviously aim for quality. I mean, you can just tell by looking at what you're doing. It's just incredible, the standards and quality that you emulate.
It's easy, to be honest. I mean, Oliver said we buy the best. When we opened the shop in Winslow, somebody said, "Oh, he's not a chocolatier. He doesn't make his own chocolate." Okay, hang on. I'll just check, and it is true. A chocolatier is. The definition of a chocolatier is somebody who makes chocolates and chocolate shapes. So that's correct. A chocolate maker is the person that makes the chocolate from the bean. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So we get the creative bit, don't we?
But having said that, we do make our own chocolate. We've got a chocolate grinding machine to make, and we're making vegan chocolate now. So we've seen a huge surge in sales on vegan chocolate. So that's definitely something we can cater for, and we started making that about 18 months ago, and we've just recently made a real advancement in the quality and taste, so we're improving all the time. So
well, do you know what, I think it's really good to see behind the scenes, because I went to this tour at the Cadbury factory. I won't mention it. It was awful because actually you don't actually see what's going on, and you eat this chocolate at the end, and this is just in a different league, isn't it? And just to learn that there is so many. Don't do that.
It's all right. We'll get the chocolate boat out and head down to Bollington with a delivery for you. Wouldn't that be great? The chocolate.
It would. I'll meet you on the canal.
Perfect.
We're right near the canal, so I'll meet you near the canal.
We've got to do that.
We've got it.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Simon and Anne. It's been lovely to meet you both. It really has, and I'm sure.
We'll hopefully see you here one day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to come and visit you.
Come and visit us.
I will do, definitely. Take care, everybody. And
See you soon.
with Ollie.
Bye, guys.
Oh, isn't he lovely? Isn't he
Mama and Papa
marvelous?
Choc. Yeah, it was great. Nice for people to see behind the scenes. Yeah, they are. They're nice. I'm very lucky.
Really pleased you did that. Thank you. It was really good that we had that idea to actually go back behind the scenes.
I'm really pleased. It worked out well.
It's amazing what technology can do now, isn't it?
It is incredible.
So let's talk about the branding then, because clearly it's such. I mean, we talked about what your brand values are when we were preparing for this, and it was you obviously are after quality and consistency, but I think also it's really important, and it just comes across from you and your dad and mum about the fun element, and also the creativity, and
absolutely.
Go on. Do you want to tell us more?
Yeah, I think what it is for me with my business is I started with doing children's parties. So I was working for my dad, mum and dad in the chocolate shop, and I wanted to earn some extra money. So my idea initially was to buy a chocolate fountain and hire that out for weddings and parties.
Yeah.
And my dad said, well, you are a chocolatier and you've got these skills. Maybe you could utilize those better than simply a chocolate fountain, which is more indulgence and mess, and maybe the bubble will burst on that. So initially the idea was rent a chocolatier. Literally, I'm a chocolatier, I'm for hire, you can have me at your wedding or your party.
Yeah.
And the way it all went was that children's parties was the one. And I remember, I'll never forget turning up at the door at somebody's house, somebody that I'd never met before, who's booked me for a children's party. And I'm there with this box of molds and chocolate and things, just thinking, what am I doing here? This is ridiculous. I'm terrified. I hope it's a hoax. I hope they don't answer the door. And anyway, it wasn't. And it went really well. And all I did then was learn what people liked, what they enjoyed, and refine that process of the party over the years. So all it's about, as well as, like you say, the best quality chocolate, ensuring that the products look great, the packaging, it's the experience. So the parties are all about the experience. It's probably 50% chocolate and 50% experience. So I always make sure that I deliver that in a fun and energetic way, and really interact with the children and the people, get pipe chocolate moustaches on the faces and chocolate tattoos on the hands, and get them balancing a chocolate button on the nose and just having loads of fun. That's what it's all about. And when I've obviously since lockdown, I've come up with the chocolate making kits. I've actually got one here.
Lovely.
So I try and make sure that this is an experience. So this obviously is a product, but as soon as you go inside, you've got the experience of unboxing. You've got the mold, the chocolate, the accessory pack with the piping bags. So I want this to be an experience. So when the recipient opens, like, what have we got here? And then the next thing, they open up my video on YouTube and they walk through the steps of how to temper the chocolate and how to make the bar or the chocolate pizza or the truffles or whatever it is. So yeah, it's all about that, really. It's all about creating an experience and making memories. We're not just making chocolate, we're making memories for people. And that's the most important thing. I'll see people and they'll say, oh, you did this chocolate party for my daughter's birthday and it was 10 years ago now. And, people, it's really nice to still get feedback like that. From back in the past, and as you mentioned before, the chocolate smash, that's again an experience, because they have to smash. It's like, first of all, they open up the box, it looks beautiful, and then it's like, how do I smash it? I did one for my friend's 50th, and he had a bottle of tequila Patron, coffee Patron. He smashed the chocolate smash with his favorite bottle, and it's just really nice to see how people do it and the reaction, and they video it and it's social media. So that's the key.
So a lot of this stuff is bespoke then, isn't it? Because I've noticed you've got different bottles, haven't you? Special bottles.
Absolutely. Yeah. So actually I've got one of those here. This is Crystal Head vodka. And basically,
wow,
I dunk it in chocolate. So slam dunk it in the white chocolate or the dark, and then decorate it. So this has got just all little kind of doodles on it, really. I did one which was David Bowie inspired for a friend's wedding anniversary, Aladdin Sane with the lightning bolt going through it in the colour. So we can have fun just creatively like that, decoratively, but then obviously we can put the vodka in the chocolate. So vodka and white chocolate, or gin and white chocolate. So speaking of gin, Mr. Bianchi's gin here, Declaration. So
I've got to try that.
Exactly, it's lovely. It's such a good gin. So this simply mixed with white chocolate and into this mold. This is actually a rosé skull. So this is again rosé and white chocolate inside the little skulls. They're a bit soft because of the weather, but we're introducing a new section to the website called Pick Your Poison. And again, it's that experience. They go on the website, it's like, oh, pick your poison, what's this? And then drop down, you can pick your favorite liqueur, whiskey, rum, vodka, and then we make them to order. So I don't have a shop, but my website is of course the shop, and I want people to go in there and see all these crazy things like the chocolate mixtapes and obviously the kits, and a nice range of things.
So to clarify then, so you've got the products which are standard, which you can buy, and they're on the website. But what you're saying is that you can make anything bespoke for anybody that they wish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do love a challenge. I mean, sometimes we are restricted with molds, and but you know, not always. We can carve things and sculpt out of chocolate. So really, there's no limit. I mean, we made a life-size David Beckham, and this is where my dad's creativity comes. He just said one day, why don't we make a life-size person, a life-size statue of somebody? And we chose to make David Beckham. He just picked his 110th cap for England or something like that. So it seemed appropriate at the time. So we made this life-size sculpture. We had the mold made of the body, the head, and we made all the body parts and pieced it together and sculpted it to get it to look like him. So,
and that's a wonderful keepsake and a very memorable party, isn't it?
Oh, incredible! Yeah, yeah. People don't forget things like that. You know, it's literally I'll say to the children at the parties, "What would you make if you could make anything out of chocolate?" And that's where I get my best ideas from. The children and say, "Oh, what about a chocolate such and such?" So yeah, it's endless.
And do you know what's lovely about this is that everybody loves chocolate. I don't know anybody who doesn't. Whereas when my children were growing up and I was trying to find parties, I'd take them to the Snow Dome or, you know, things, just do something different and interesting. And yet not everybody likes sports. So this is quite amazing, isn't it?
It is. And I always try and educate them as well as to where the chocolate comes from. And having been to Ghana was so valuable, you know, to be able to explain to the children about the cocoa farm. They can watch the video on YouTube as well. But yeah, explaining to them how it's made, where the cocoa beans come from, and then getting the children to be hands-on and create something out of nothing. When that chocolate comes out of the mold at the end, it really is magical because they can see all the designs and they take it home. So it's a really happy experience.
And so you used to, before lockdown, you used to have the business, which was like, you used to do sort of you had to have about 10 to 25 parties a week, you told me, which is quite heavy going. Was that you personally? Did you have a team of people doing that?
A team of around 20 people that I trained to do the parties, some hen parties only, you know, and some the children's parties. And it was basically a bit like my dad when he wanted to grow his business and have all the shops. It was like that for me. You know, I wanted to have chocolatiers all over the country and be able to reach every town. And you know, 100 parties a week was kind of my target. But as soon as lockdown happened, I don't know. I think it was a shift, as it has been for everybody. And don't get me wrong, what a terrible time it's been, and an awful tragedy for a lot of people. But for me, it was a real perspective shift and an opportunity to look at my life and redesign it, because obviously I couldn't do the parties anymore. And as soon as I went from doing, like you say, 10 to 25 parties a week, and they can be all over the country, and even if nothing goes wrong, I'm still keeping a close eye on my phone. So I can't really be present in any moment. So I might be doing a chocolate party myself, can't really be present because I'm keeping one eye on the phone. Even if nothing happens, it's amazing how much energy that takes. You know, I've been in beautiful locations on holiday and still keeping one eye on the phone. So I'm never really switching off. And I think as soon as I was alleviated from those responsibilities, it was like, wow, oh my goodness, I was sleeping better. I was waking up with ideas. I was coming into work and I was putting the ideas into action. And then all these new opportunities started to present themselves. So it's been a really interesting time and really challenging and difficult at times. But obviously, all I could do was focus on the online events and doing virtual parties. And I've done corporate events where we've had 70-something delegates all creating their own chocolate bars, and they're in locations around the world, you know, like Singapore and Texas and Serbia, and it's like, wow, and it works. That's what's really exciting when you show people how to do it and they get it, and at the end of it they've got this product that they've made. It's a change from a quiz. It's a massive change from a Zoom quiz.
Absolutely. So it's a little bit like what you were saying earlier on, how what you're doing is you're enjoying your business and you're enjoying what you do and doing what you love doing. I think we used the phrase, we talked about how it being you're in your happy place.
It is. This is my happy place. Yeah, it is. Like I've got notes on the walls of things, ideas, and things that I want to make. So I come in here and obviously crack on with my orders, and in between, I can get creative. I can create something, make a time lapse video. You know, we've got this great tool called social media, which we can post videos on and really share with the entire world what we love doing the most. And yeah, it's been, I've created so much content during lockdown because obviously everything's changed. And, you know, I think people have responded to that. A lot of these ideas I've had in mind for years, but I've never really had the time or the mindset to actually execute them, because I had all these distractions. But then all of a sudden, I'm creating all these videos, and yeah, it's been really productive.
And
so
you know what? That is so important, being able to just be present and enjoy the moment. In fact, we used this phrase earlier on, didn't we? We were talking about you've been so worried before about the destination and what your goals were, whereas now you're actually enjoying the journey.
Exactly. And that's something that I've been told before time and time again. But now I realize that, so, okay, the destination was perhaps 100 parties a week. But how would I actually feel when I get to 100 parties a week? Do I feel fulfilled, like I've accomplished? Or do I actually feel super stressed, tired, exhausted? And then, I don't know, where do you go from there? So I think now I do have targets, but I'm focusing more on just enjoying the journey. And as long as I can make a living, and it's that balance, that combination of making a living and enjoying my life, enjoying my experience here on planet Earth, and waking up in the morning excited to get into work. And I think that's when more opportunities present themselves. We talked, didn't we, about being in line with your inner being, and it's so important for me to feel happy and attract more all the time.
We'll talk about them in a moment, but I want to just, before we forget, we must mention the most amazing creative person as well, who's part of the team, who's Kim, who was here today, but she couldn't be.
She couldn't be here, unfortunately. But Kim is a huge inspiration for me. We do have so much in common in that respect, because Kim is a jewelry designer. So she designs the pieces, has them made, and she's got a fantastic collection called Kim Minchin Jewelry. And, you know, she's just super passionate. She loves fashion and putting jewelry together with outfits. And she's gone into homeware as well. So she loves rosé, and we drink wine at home, we cook, and it's funny because how these things evolve, it fascinates me. But Kim had her eyes on these particular wine glasses, and she managed to source them from California, and she calls them the Malibu glasses. She had no intention really of going in this direction, but lots of people were asking her, where did you get these wine glasses from? So she's been overwhelmed with orders, and actually Nick Bianchi's received some of those for his birthday today.
Oh, did he?
So maybe he'll have a gin and tonic in his Kim-spired glass, but it's in the, his wife Jeanette bought Nick the glasses, which is lovely. So yeah, it's just interesting the way things evolve, and with Kim having a few pieces of homeware, obviously we've all been spending more time at home. It's all aesthetic design, and it fits in really well. So Kim's really excited. It's, you know, she's worked really hard tirelessly for years, and I think now she's starting to get more recognition for it. And her Instagram looks incredible, and she's opening doors, which is great.
And she helps you a bit with the kits. You said she does the kits, the stickers, the website.
Poor girl, literally, it's like every day there's always something to do, isn't there? You know, you never get it all done, but she's incredible. She does the website, like you say, the branding, the stickers for the kits, and she's great. She loves shopping, so she loves ordering things for me, which is really helpful. I'm like, you know, Kim, can you order me some stickers, this, that, and the other? So yeah, she's really she's great. She's really productive, and it's a shame she couldn't be here today, but she'll be with me live on Facebook tomorrow, which is at 11 o'clock.
Well, maybe we do a follow-up, Ollie.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Yeah, we can hear a bit more from Kim.
We can hear from Kim, and we can maybe do a demonstration where you can actually show us what you're making.
I'd love to. It
would be really, really good. So just to finish the picture of the family, you've also got Camilla involved sometimes, haven't you?
Exactly. Yeah, Camilla, my sister, love her to bits. She's got 4 children who I love dearly, and yeah, we're really lucky. But Camilla has obviously got her hands full there at home with Craig and the children, Lila, Giorgio, Charlie, and Darcy. But in between, when we're busy here, as my dad mentioned, Christmas, Camilla comes here to help out. But I think she comes here for a break, really, if I'm honest.
So it's really a busy time. So obviously you have your sort of moments when you've got really busy, but
Yeah.
I bet the online stuff must be helping because it's sort of like there in the background.
Exactly. Yeah, the online business. I mean, the chocolate making kits, we had those ready to go years ago, but we never actually had the time to do anything with them. And as soon as lockdown happened, I realized that people need something to do at home with the children, keep them occupied, and that's when we started to push the kits, and we saw a huge growth in the sales of the kits, which really kept us going, really helped, because of course during that time lots of people had cancelled parties, some had rescheduled, but there were lots of deposits and payments that I had to refund people. So it was really lucky that we had the kits to focus on. So it wasn't lockdown, it was choc down. And you know, from there it was evolving all the time. You know, the corporate market, you know, I'm able to promote the kits on LinkedIn and doing the virtual chocolate making events on Zoom, so that's really helped. And then getting the orders for the chocolate smashes as well. So it's a little bit of a mixture, and I think over time it will still be a mixture. It will be a combination of all those things, but hopefully I will, you know, have a Sunday off and just a little bit more of a balance. It was a bit too crazy before.
And so you do offer products not just for corporate, but it is also for young people and families and parties. And so if somebody was to come to you and say, like I've said to you, I would love to actually, you know, run an event for my youth group. And I think they would absolutely love that. So what could we expect from you? What would you be able to do for us?
Yeah, so at the moment, on a virtual basis, it would simply be a case of purchasing the kits and inviting me into a Zoom. And, you know, obviously I'll present the whole thing, walk through the steps of getting the chocolate to the right temperature, and making sure that everybody knows exactly what they're doing. Because I've done this for such a long time, I understand what the pitfalls might be, how it can go wrong. And I think that's the key. It's making sure that people are aware of what not to do, as well as everybody's chocolate sets properly, and also that they have a fun experience. So it's kind of feeding them the information, but also giving them the energy, the excitement, getting them to balance the chocolate button on the nose, getting them to do their own chocolate moustaches, because we can't not have a chocolate moustache even at a virtual chocolate party. So it's DIY, but you know, it works. So it's good. Yeah,
that's a lovely idea. And then obviously after we were able to meet up, you can do it face to face. Will you be doing that, do you think, or do you think you might be sort of changing the style of your delivery?
I think before it was more reactive, and it was a case of we advertise, we answer the phone and the emails, and we take bookings, and we work 7 days a week and flat out, and don't really consider myself too much, to just kind of, you know, go for it. And that's great. But I think going forwards, it needs to be a balance, because I'll need to be able to find time to create the products, and obviously I've created a bit of a demand for that now. So I want to continue with that because I'm enjoying it. But I will make slots available. So it will be a case of, I think people can go on our website and actually book their own slot, a bit like when you book a hotel or something like that. Hopefully they can just book the parties themselves, and I'll have three or four designated slots on the Saturday. And you know, I'm here. I know what's going on. I'm in control. So I'm excited to go back to that. It'll be nice whenever it may be.
And what I think is lovely is that you've obviously found, we've talked about how you've obviously found your happy place, but also you're quite a spiritual person, aren't you? And what's been lovely, can I just say, it's been lovely today to get to know you more, because we see you this sort of like really enthusiastic, amazing, exciting person, fun person in the videos. But it's actually really nice to get to know your mum, your dad, and the business, and get a family feel for it.
Yeah, absolutely. You understand, you know, the background of it. I think we're all focused on being positive. And I think sometimes that, you know, if I'm not feeling positive, I can be hard on myself. And I've realized that I need to just let that be, and, you know, just let thing, just go with the flow, and biorhythms. You have good days, you have bad days, but I am focused on being the best version of myself, and that does mean being in line with my inner being and just being happy. And I do believe in the law of attraction, and I listen to Abraham Hicks, which my father-in-law introduced me to. So I listen to her teachings. So I'm always kind of listening to the audio books, and learning. I'm learning all the time, and it's an exciting journey. But I think it's just important for me to be in tune.
Yeah, and I think the word journey is so important, isn't it? Because we do sometimes get on a sort of like a treadmill of feeling like it's got to be this, and keep pushing. But as you say, enjoying that process.
Exactly, and I think it is. And I think when I'm enjoying the process, I'm starting to find momentum in the things that I'm doing. So it might start with the most simple act of inspiration, that I'll wake up and I'll think, I'm going into work this morning, and the first thing I'm going to do is this, and I get that done, and I get that satisfaction, that feeling that you've accomplished, and then it's like, what's next? And then as you go through the day, it's that momentum that you get, and hopefully throughout the week, and I'm just trying to make sure that that's what happens. I don't get the momentum in the wrong direction, where you sort of like lose track or lose that connection with yourself. So
So what's
momentum is important.
The future hold for you, Ollie? What sort of your plans at all? Have you thought, or are you just letting it happen?
Well, I think it's a really interesting time, and like you say, I've found my happy place here, and it's crazy to think this was the chocolate party room, and now it's the studio, and where we make the videos, and I just need to continue with that, because it's really exciting. I'm finding I've got an exciting meeting this afternoon, which is about creating content and videos, and I think people want to do new things, to do and experience new things. So I'm just excited for what the future holds, really. Just as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm passionate, and I'm working hands-on with chocolate, and not becoming this agency like I was really before, sat behind a computer screen dealing with the admin and the bookings. That's not really me. It's I need to be hands-on. So going forwards, I think it's I just want to keep that balance of business and lifestyle, family life, and really valuing the downtime and having a Sunday off. But I enjoy work as well. Saturdays are such a great buzz, and that's why I'm excited to get back doing the parties, have a few children's parties in there, and corporate events during the week as well. I can't wait to get back to doing corporate events, and also schools. So it'll be a combination, but I'll have to really balance it, and I'm going to have to be really strict, because I am a yes man, which is a gift and a curse. And if I say yes to everything, then I'm not caring about myself. So I do need to think about myself, and just try and be a little bit stubborn with how I want things to be. Otherwise, it'll just go out of control. So it's all about balance and family life and making a living, but just enjoying it.
But life balance is a very challenging thing, isn't it? Because
it is.
People think that life balance is giving equal time to everything, but actually it's not. I feel that there is no such thing as life balance, because what we're doing is we're choosing to focus on one thing at one moment and another thing at another moment. So it's about you choosing how you spend your time and choosing it wisely, which you're obviously reached that point where you can do that.
Absolutely. And I think also it's how you feel about it as well. If I'm having a day off, enjoying that day off, and not feeling bad or guilty that I should be doing something else. So if I have a bit more of a routine, which I didn't really have before, then on a Sunday, if I did do anything on the work side, it would be a bonus. But if I didn't, then I'm certainly not going to beat myself up about it.
Yeah. In fact, can I just share a couple of comments? So Jacqueline Wilson, this was Jacqueline said this, I think, earlier on in the conversation, where you were talking about, sort of what I think it was to do with the parties and what the services you offer, which was wonderful. And this is a friend of mine, Anthony Longdon Kirk. we definitely do.
I agree.
and in fact, I'm quite interested to hear about white chocolate, because that's my fave. But it's like to learn that it's actually, some people say it isn't chocolate, proper chocolate, don't they?
I must give you some samples. People will try our white chocolate and they'll say, I didn't like white chocolate before, or I didn't think I did, but I love this. It's so creamy. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Oli, it's been absolutely amazing talking to you today. And I think what's been so special is seeing behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's been lovely. It's been really unique, and it's been great to be here. So thank you very much for having me, and Mama and Papa Choc as well.
Oh, Mama and Papa Choc, I've got to meet you. Come down there and I've got to come and meet you.
Definitely.
Oh, saying I love white chocolate. It's my go-to when I'm ill.
Is it? So
it's my go-to when I'm not ill.
Yeah, me too. I'll just tell you about some of the slabs that I do.
Please do. Yeah.
Thank you. The white chocolate I mix with crushed Oreo, and the white chocolate goes like a silvery grey, really cool colour, and a little bit of sea salt. I use Anglesey sea salt, and for me that is such a key ingredient in chocolate. It has this most incredible Moorish taste. So that's the white chocolate. I think Anthony would appreciate that, and I think you would, Kalini, as well, being a fan of white. But the milk chocolate I do is like, I call it the Holy Grail, because it literally is the Holy Grail of chocolate. I mean, I'm hooked on this. It's lethal. It's sea salt, fudge pieces, crushed Oreo, and popping candy. And I make the slabs and I cut it into shards, and I sell the shards in jars. But yeah, the Holy Grail, if anybody's watching who's tasted it, you'll know. But I've stopped having a jar of it at home now because it's lethal, but it's good. It's a nice treat.
Actually, Anthony's obviously... You're going to have to tell. We're going to leave details of how you can find Oli and his website details and everything afterwards in the link afterwards. But do you know what I haven't given you opportunity? Have you got any products you want to show us that you've got there?
So I showed you the scores, didn't I? I showed you I think I've showed you everything that I've got here at the moment. But yeah, you should certainly be able to see those on the website, olithechoc.com.
And I can see Papa Choc waiting to say goodbye. Are you waiting to say goodbye, Papa Choc?
Hey, Papa Choc.
Can't hear you, Papa Choc.
Oh, can you unmute it? There you go.
I've just got a customer in the shop, so somebody's taken my attention.
Is this why the bandana's come off?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think I've finished for today, so I'll start to chill out.
I just want to thank you for showing us around your amazing premises. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I just heard that you'd white chocolate was your favourite, wasn't it? So
that wasn't a hint. That wasn't a hint. I promise.
Leave with that one there. Amazing.
Oh, look at that. Awesome. Look at that.
I just need Gene Wilder now. Pure imagination. Come with me and you'll be...
Can you sing?
Sorry?
I think so. I sing quite well in the shower.
No, I love the website and the picture of Gene Wilder. Yes.
We have a picture of... Yeah, we do like to sing while we make chocolates, don't we, Dad? We sing a lot.
Sing? Yeah. Like I say, there's a customer in the shop otherwise.
Otherwise, yeah, what a shame.
It may have saved everybody from...
And Oli, you look so much like your dad. You're an absolute image of him.
Oh, it's funny, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely.
Chip off the old block.
I'm outside now, Oliver, so I can...
Chip off the old choc.
Sing whoever. What do we sing, Ol?
Oh, dear. What do we sing? Are you going to sing your Christmas song?
My
dad has all these songs that he's changed the lyrics to apply to...
Lethal but good. This is a friend of mine, Paul Spence, listening. Lethal but good, white chocolate, that is. And Anthony, can I do Vicar of Dibley with the white chocolate?
We can do that as a follow-up, yeah.
Listen, guys, I'm going to say goodbye, Simon. Thank you. And we're going to just finish off, Oli and I.
Great.
I'm trying to keep this under an hour so we can put it on Insta.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks again.
On IGTV.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Simon. It's lovely to meet you again. So, Oli, it's been amazing. I'm trying to keep it under an hour so we can put it on IGTV.
Fantastic. Oh, good idea. Amazing. How exciting. Thank you so much.
58 minutes, 45 seconds.
Well, so, I'd just like to say thank you for your time today. Honestly, it's been really enjoyable. It's been great.
It's been so much fun. Actually, so love these conversations. As you know, this is part of a series I'm doing with inspirational people, and I just think it's just lovely for people to get to know people in a deeper, more meaningful way.
Definitely.
Which we've definitely found out about you. It's been lovely.
Oh, good.
Oh, thank you so much. And we'll catch up after this. And but thank you everybody for listening. Tomorrow I've got another one with Irene. Irene, who it went madly, horribly wrong yesterday. So we're doing it again. But lovely to speak to you all. And thank you for listening and for all your feedback. Okay, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.